Well, hi everybody. Hello, hello. I haven't done a YouTube live video for eating peace in quite a while. If you follow this channel, if you follow the YouTube channel, you'll know that there's peace talk videos and other interviews relating to just simply the work. And eating peace, though, I just noticed in the summer process, in the summer camp, which is underway right now, which is daily inquiry all summer until August 28th. There's just lots happening. So let's just stop talking all about that, the schedule, and respond to an interesting question. So I have a little ebook, kind of a big one actually, like maybe almost 40 pages long, that has 7 thoughts to question and a daily process of looking at specific beliefs when it comes to food and eating and compulsion that are very, very common. And the very first one is the whole story of urgency, emergency, urgency, speed, quick. Now just notice, we think this when it comes to food. I must have that thing. I must go get it. I must eat it now. I have an image in my mind, and there's something that feels sort of racing oriented, like get in the car and drive to go get that food. And then a lot of debate within, like a sense of contention in the body, in the mind. You shouldn't eat it. What are you doing? I don't care. I'm not listening to that. Nobody stop me. I'm just in it. I'm just in it. I can't stop. This is, I'm out of control. I'm out of control. That's what we'll say a lot, right? I'm eating and I'm out of control. I'm can't help it. Feels like you're almost hijacked. I've heard that term used before. Actually hijacked. Like we see a great airplane and people through force say, you are not going to where you want to land. We're taking you to a whole nother country. The only thing that's different about hijacking is there's usually part of us, the debate is within, and part of us desperately wants, as soon as possible, quick before I change my mind, get me to that thing that's my desire, my pleasure, my compulsion, my enchanted focus. Give me the food. Get out of my way. You know, those little jokes about get out of my way, I got to get the chocolate. So, urgency, whatever we're calling that feeling. I love that there's a connection to the word emergent, something coming out, something being born, something arising. And I always felt like I missed that thing that was arising. There is a gap, say many, there is a gap, just watching, between the thought about the compulsive desired thing, eating in this case, and the actual behavior. There is a gap. It seems like it's very brief. It seems like the speed of getting the thing is so short, so speedy, so quick. It's like when you see an actual train racing by and you're standing on the platform and it didn't slow down. Whoa. Now let's have to step back, let that thing pass. So there's this incredible sense of speed, movement. Binge eating feels just like this. Binge eating, we're staying in that mode, right? But I'm even talking about the narrow moment when there's an image or a thought or something we don't want, we don't like. I don't like this feeling. I don't like this sensation. I don't like this emptiness. I don't like this powerless feeling. I don't like what's happening, which can be like a similar orientation for many of us. We have our propensities. Don't like it. Don't like it. I want that instead. I got to get out of here. And then the thing that we use, food, or analyzing food and eating, or thinking something about our health or our body or the perfect meal or the perfect food plan or what I'm going to start doing to increase my health and make my body thinner, all that stuff just starts racing in. Okay, there's a gap. So, urgent, questioning the urgent story. Who would we be without the belief I have to do it quick? Better be quick. Emergency. Something that's being born must be stomped out like a fire. Something that I'm becoming aware of must be chopped out as quickly as possible. ASAP. Quick, quick. Who would I be without the story of urgency? Urges arise in urgency, speed. We must go fast to avoid or get. Who would I be without that story? What is here without the urgent story? Let the urgent story run. There's your mind saying, oh my God, this is horrible. Get me some food. Get me something to eat. I don't care. I could care less. I'm going to I'm falling off the wagon. I don't care. Anyways, just like that extreme speed, lack of caring, break things on your way. Doesn't matter. Who would I be without the story? Who am I already without that story? Who would I be? What would I be? What am I? What's already present here that is not missing without the urgency story, without the urgent story? So, we can notice, we hear a loud bang, and the body has a reaction, and then there's waiting and pausing and noticing. You can have a flash of something happening and notice adrenaline responding. I think that's going to happen. I think that's, and not acting on it, as we say, is not taking action. There are things that we think all the time, and the body even responds, but we don't actually move forward like it's true. What else is here? Who else is here? What else is here? Without the stop, with the thought of the urgent story, without there being an urgent story. What do your hands think about the situation? When you think, I absolutely and critically must eat now. Notice how the mind will think of how horrible it would be not to be eating or not to be purging. Could never do that. I need to eat. I need to purge. I need to do something. Who would I be without the story? Who am I without the story? I love noticing that the urgent thoughts and urgent experience and urgent stories, everyone has experienced that, even people who are not compulsive in behavior. There are quick things that happen in the world. There's speedy, quick responses. There's fast feelings that happen. There's thoughts racing. Everyone has that in their lives. Being human being, and it passes. It passes. The body stays intact. It doesn't explode the way we think we're going to. So can I just notice the thing passing? You've all heard those meditations. Let the thoughts pass like clouds in the sky. And you're like, when you have the urgent story going, you're like, the clouds passing the sky. I can't wait. I'm too impatient. And yet, if it was a storm or wild or tumultuous or a tornado, let the tornado pass. Like, could you not respond to the tornado? I mean, is it required to respond to it? Urge, urge, urge. The only way to make this thing end is to eat something. Are you sure that's true? Are you absolutely positive that's true? Who would you be without that story? This is urgent. This is not urgent. Turning it around. My thoughts are racing. My thoughts are urgent. My thinking is urgent about something that happened. And then I went to, I have to eat to survive. I have to eat to live. I absolutely critically must eat. I can't have these feelings. I can't have these thoughts. Whatever was going on in the moment. Can't stand it. went to food. My thoughts are the things that created that urgency. My thoughts are the things that created. My thoughts are urgent. My thoughts are fearful. My thoughts are screaming, emergency. My body, I don't have to react. I'm not turning the hose on my house like it's on fire. I just start eating, you know? If there was a sudden emergency, you would stop eating and respond to it, most likely. It would interrupt that pattern. Somebody wrote to me recently and she said, I'm eating all day. My heart just broke going out to her. I remember that feeling, isolating, eating, the cycle of the wave of stuffing it in and then purging and then resting a little bit and then starting again. Oh, just brutal physically. Noticing something is so panicked that it is willing to stay in that mode, not let go of it, keep eating, even though you don't even want to actually be eating. If you really ask yourself, what do I really want? It isn't that. That is so, you just hate it, actually. I mean, I always be like, I hate this, hate it. So, what's here without, what if you didn't? What would be horrible? Let yourself respect the answer, even if it sounds insane. What would be horrible if you did not eat with this urgent feeling? What if you said, thank you for sharing that it's an emergency? Oh, thought, oh, part of me that has been around forever. What else is here besides that urgent story? What do you think would happen? I asked that of this writer, and she said, I would start crying and I would cry and cry forever and never stop. I would feel incredibly mixed feelings. I would feel so much heartbreak and grief. Isn't that interesting? It has an image of where this is going. If we even start feeling something or not doing something like that, just my head will explode or something if I don't. We'll think the urge is going to be screaming at us forever. It's like something is so unsafe. So that is just number one, just to study that urgent reaction, turning it around completely. It is not an emergency. An urge or something is arising and it's slow. This is blooming, a blooming moment. Could I pause and be quiet? Can I wait? Can I just see? Can I let all the frustrations and feelings and everything and the images and the pictures and whatever thought is, can I let that just run and not do anything? We do this about many thoughts. We don't do everything our mind tells us to do. We don't believe everything we think. We can do this about this as well. I loved somebody shared that this is like a mind getting trained, like emergency management response team, right? Emergency emergency management response team in this entity that I am is eat. You know, keep practicing eating so it gets used to doing that. And even though the mind is screaming, you don't have to do everything it says. So who would I be without the story of emergency and urgency? Empty, quiet house in the middle of the pandemic, perhaps, or some other isolated experience, noticing the quietness, watching and letting everything come up and go and come and go, and just letting it all be there and noticing it can't kill you to have a thought, to have a memory, to have a feeling. So just try it a little tiny bit. You don't even have to use willpower. Just try a little tiny bit. Something is here already that is not your thoughts. How exciting is that? Nothing's missing. You're right. Lots of love, everybody.